Welcome to version 2 of the Shelterware program. For those of you that have used Shelterware 1 in the past, the current version should look very familiar. It has most of the same features and a lot of the same look and feel about it. For those of you that are new to Shelterware, this will be an introduction and we'll walk you through the important features. A couple of things to think about as you look at it. The overall goal of the redesign has been to keep the number of pages that you have to shift and look at as minimal as possible and make it as simple as possibly can be to get from one place to another and get people checked into a shelter quickly. So let's just take a quick overview of what's on this page. For every shelter operator, this front page will look a little different. Specifically, this bed cartoon will vary according to how many beds and the arrangement of the beds within the shelter. In this example, which is the test shelter, we set it up arbitrarily with 30 beds. So by just taking a glance at this, it's obvious there's three different colors of beds that are being indicated. Green beds are those that are available and can be used for immediate occupancy. So the linens have been cleaned and prepared and the bed is set to go. A yellow bed is one that was occupied last night. The sheets probably have not been changed, and if the same person that was in it last night's checking back in, that works. But they would be considered dirty beds and would not be appropriate for assigning a new person to. The red beds are beds that somebody has already checked into for the night. So at a glance you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red beds. And that's reflected up here, that there's 7 beds that have currently been assigned. The next section down here are the incident reports, and we'll come back to these in a couple of minutes and talk about what they mean, what they tell you. But these are significant events that have happened at the shelter in the last few days, last 10 days, that everybody needs to be aware of. The next section below that are the bed records, and they're broken into 2 parts. These are today's bed records. So we show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 individuals that have checked in. So we indicate Bill Clinton. Hey, I didn't pick the names. We're not necessarily entirely politically correct. These are different people that have used the test shelter, have added people. So anyway, Bill Clinton looks like he's in bed 2. And if you come up here, bed 2 is occupied. Coming down to the lower section, these were the beds that were occupied last night. And it looks like Bill Clinton was again in bed 2 last night. And I guess at this time he was age 72. And it shows that he has already been checked in for the night. Next person down on the list from last night was John Deere. He was in bed 5, and I guess he's age 20, but it's indicating that the bed is available. So if we come back up here and look at bed 5, it shows as a yellow bed. So it's been previously occupied, but hasn't been checked into for the night. Let's take a look now at what happens if we check John Deere in. Come over here, check him in. Put a check mark here, hit returning client check-in, and you'll notice now the bed has shifted from yellow to red. And that shows up here as John Deere being checked into bed 5. Okay, now let's say that we have, well, it looks like Santa Claus and George Clooney are in beds 21 and 23. And for 21 here, 23 here. And for whatever reason, they're not getting along tonight, and we decided that it would be appropriate to move bed 23, George Clooney, and we'd really like to stick him over in this corner, over in bed 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to bed 23, Mr. Clooney, and we're going to change. I'm going to hit the change button. And it says that George is currently checked into bed 23. And we would like to move him over and put him in bed 6. I'm going to click that. It says bed 6 down here, and we're going to check him in. When we get back to the main page then, you can see that bed 6 is occupied. And if you come down and look at it here, that's Mr. Clooney. And bed 23 is now indicating as a used or a dirty bed. So somebody has been in that bed, they've been moved out of that, and the linens need to be changed before this would be available for another client. So it's a real quick, easy way to change beds. And you can see here, this is yesterday's bed enrollment, and it says assigned a different bed today. So again, it just gives you a quick and easy way to get a sense of who's been in which bed, where they're moving around, and where should I go with them. So that's really all that's involved in getting somebody checked into a bed. In a later video, I'll talk about the incident reports, and I'll talk about how we actually walk through the process of checking somebody in. But again, most of the time when you're in the at the front desk doing a check-in, you're going to be operating more or less just off this one page, and it has most of the key information that you need all in one location. Okay, that should do it.